Understand.
Ms. Kalish, are you a United States citizen?
I am.
Do you understand that there may be other adverse or unfavorable consequences as a result of this guilty plea conviction, just as there would be from a conviction following a trial? For example, your guilty plea may affect the right to vote because you are in fact guilty.
Yes.
Now, Ms. Kalish, are you asking to tender this plea under the provisions of the First Offender Act?
Yes.
Have you discussed all of the ramifications of entering a plea under the First Offender Act?
Yes.
And do you understand that if you enter a plea under the First Offender Act, that if you violate the terms of your probation or violate Georgia law, you could be subject to the revocation of your first offender sentence, adjudicated guilty, and sentenced up to the max on each charge that you have pled to? Do you understand?
Correct.
Okay. How do you plead to counts 2
Shit funny?
through 8 robbery?
Guilty.
How do you plead to count 18 participation in criminal street gang activity?
Guilty.
Crazy. Crazy. Yo.
Participation in
Guilty.
you plead to counts understand?
Correct.
Yo. Hold up, y'all. I gotta get spicy. Y'all. Hold on. Let me see.
Okay. Each charge that you have pled to. Do you understand?
Correct.
Okay. How do you plead to counts 2
Oh, you laughing?
through 8 robbery?
Guilty.
How do you plead?
Yo, if you don't know who this is Bleveland Avenue Becky, man. Bleveland Becky, you don't know? Yeah. It's a long story. She YSL. Yeah. Trust me. Crazy trial. YSL trial. She getting sentenced right here. Watch this.
To count 18 participation in criminal street gang activity.
Whoa.
Guilty.
Oh.
18 participation in criminal street gang activity.
Guilty.
Is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with full knowledge of the charges against you?
Correct.
Do you understand that you have only a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
Correct.
Do you understand that you have only 4 years from this date, from today's date, to file what is known as a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness and or constitutionality of your guilty plea?
Yes.
And do you understand that you have only until the end of this current term of court to file any motions requesting to withdraw your guilty plea today? Do you understand?
I understand.
Okay. Your Honor, were this case to go to trial, the facts would show that on the evening hours of November 7th of 2019, Lindsay Kalish and
Y'all ready? Yo, get ready to listen to this and leave comments and to tell me whether this sound like Shorty is supposed to be going home today.
and her friend Lauren Riley were hanging out at the apartment of a YSL member known as Voss Coleman, along with several other members of YSL. Also present at that party was an individual by the name of Max Pritchett, who went by Red Rare.
Salute to
While
Max.
at this party, Miss Kalish and Miss Riley received a Snapchat from one of the victims named Christian Riggs. In that Snapchat, it was an invitation to a Halloween party at an Airbnb located at 1040 Wiley Street, which is City of Atlanta, Fulton County. Instead of going to that party as an invitee, Miss Riley stated that the individuals present should, quote, hit a lick, meaning rob the party, because that invitation in that Snapchat picture contained what appeared to be large amounts of drugs as well as cash.
Oh, what you say? You said she didn't want to just go to the party and party. She wanted to go hit a lick. What? It was her idea, sir.
Miss Riley stated that the individuals present should, quote, hit a lick,
What?
meaning rob the party because
That's not her right here. That's the other girl. That was her homegirl. So her name Kalish. So you saying her homegirl set up the play. Okay, I'm listening.
that invitation in that Snapchat picture contained what appeared to be large amounts of drugs as well as cash. At that time, particularly Miss Riley and Mr. Pritchett and Voss Coleman engaged in planning the robbery of this Airbnb and solicited the help of an individual by the name of Tyrone Robinson, who went by the name Baby Slat.
Baby Slat. Oh, not Baby Drill. Baby Slat. This guy, his rap career must ain't get off the ground yet. I never heard of him.
In the early morning hours of November 8th,
Surely he's not connected to Young Thug. I never heard of him.
2019, Lauren Riley drove Lindsay Kalish, Tyrone Robinson, and Max Pritchett to the Airbnb located at 1040 Wiley Street. The two males remained in Miss Riley's car while Miss Kalish and Miss Riley entered the property, and they, upon entering the property, they scoped the location of the drugs and cash, and a picture was sent from Miss Riley's phone to Miss Kalish's phone, which was in the car with the two boys who were waiting in the car armed. Miss Riley stole some of the drugs at the party herself, ran out of the house.
What?
And after Miss Riley was out of the house, while Miss Kalish was still in the house, the two males entered the house armed with assault-style handguns and masked. While in the house, the DJ of the party, Vikyat Gatani, was pistol whipped several times.
Ow.
Causing severe lacerations to his head, as well as a fractured skull. His personal property was taken from him.
Hey, give it back.
As well as the Holden Carmody, Jackson Buckingham Heil, Rebecca Mears.
My mom bought me that.
Christian Riggs, Christian Hooper, and Noah Walker were all held at gunpoint as well, with their personal property being taken from their persons and at gunpoint. At some
Nobody move. Nobody get hurt.
point during this home invasion and armed robbery, Miss Kalish can be seen fleeing from the front door, and the individuals can still be heard screaming at the victims inside. Miss Kalish runs down the street and is eventually picked up in the car by Miss Riley and the other two males that went into the house. The four individuals then returned to Voss Coleman's apartment in Midtown, where the proceeds of the robbery, which turned out to be drugs, was dumped on the bed, and it was agreed that Tyrone Robinson and Max Pritchett would sell the THC edibles and then give some of the proceeds to Miss Kalish and Miss Riley. I should also note that the wallets and the cell phones of the victims that were taken from their person were thrown from the car, from Miss Riley's car, as Robinson, Pritchett, Riley, and Kalish fled from the scene, with all of those proceeds being recovered by either neighbors or some of the unhoused individuals in the neighborhood.
Unhoused.
it was very apparent from the video surveillance and the actions of Miss Riley and Miss Kalish that those were the two that were somehow connected to the armed robbery and home invasion based on their actions inside. The end of Miss Kalish and Miss Riley were identified through the assistance of some of the victims as well as Instagram. And then about 8 days after the incident, Miss Kalish and Miss Riley voluntarily came to APD headquarters to interview and give a statement. At that time, that the two were taken into custody. And after being taken into custody, Miss Kalish then described how the events of the robbery were planned. Though she initially denied any involvement and tried to distance herself from the crime, she did turn around and was crucial in identifying the two male gunmen that went into the house and physically committed the armed robbery. Your Honor, Ms. Kalish, as you were aware, did testify for the state at trial, truthfully, we believe, and consistent with her later proffers after she was released from custody. Part of the reason of the state's offer to reduce the crimes, reduction in crimes in a, I guess, relatively low sentence compared to what the other individuals were offered and sentenced to after trial, is because of one, her cooperation in this case, but also her actions after she was granted. But also because of one, her cooperation in this case.
Oh yeah, she cooperated and got probation.
But also her actions after she was granted bond by Judge Ashley. She was granted bond over the state's objection. She followed all of her bond conditions, and as time went on, she was granted more and more flexibility to obtain employment.
So she was allowed to get bond, even though she was considered to be in the gang and committing robberies. So she was allowed to get a bond. Get more flexibility. She even went and got a paralegal education. True or false? Ugh.
As well as to finish school. She, by the end of, just prior to the trial of Robinson and Pritchett 2 months ago, or a month ago, she had completed her paralegal certificate and was working 2 jobs while living with her parents. And this entirety of this time, though she had some freedom to go to work and come back, for the most part, outside of work, school, and medical appointments, she was on house arrest, with the exception of
so you could work hard to lock them young black men up, but you working hard to save her from going to jail. That's crazy, bro. See, listen, I always think about this when I be watching NBA games, especially in the playoffs, especially places like OKC. If them people that live in OKC that look like this dude right here could support young black men even when they don't play basketball, then maybe they would fight for them in courtrooms like this. Not the ones that's really guilty, but really try to give them a chance instead of smashing them and locking them up for astronaut numbers and shit. You heard me. But right now, you see what he doing? He caping for Shorty, yeah, man, but he used Shorty so she could weaponize herself against those black boys, but even though it was her and her homegirl playing. This shit crazy right here.
Couple of concessions by the state to visit some ailing grandparents out of state. So a lot of the state's recommendation to reduce comes from not only her cooperation, but also her, I believe, remorsefulness for the crime, as well as acknowledgement of her role, but a outward showing of the ability and intent to better herself. That would
Whoa.
from the state
Whoa.
this time, Your Honor.
Do you have any victim impact statements you want to share?
I do. If you would allow me, none of the victims wanted to speak personally, but they did provide a statement, and I had it pulled up on my computer. If you allow
Oh,
me to
yeah.
have that.
I will allow you to grab that.
I will. What y'all think? Tell me in the comments. It's crazy. She YSL. She Bleveland Ave. Yeah. Setting up robberies, going home. All probation with cooperation. Yeah, you heard me. All probation with cooperation. How you feel? Whoa. Whoa. Tell them they better not steal my ad-libs either, bitch. Whoa. Slap.
Your
Yeah.
Honor, this is a victim impact statement.
Woo.
It was provided by
Yeah.
Holden Carmody.
Yeah.
The other individuals, victims in this case that I reached out to, they were informed of the sentencing, but indicated that they did not want to prepare a statement or were not available to speak due to work obligations.
Can you remind me, I got to meet all of them. Which one was Mr. Carmody? Was he the person who had rented the house?
He was one of the individuals, Mr. Carmody, Mr. Riggs, and no, I'm sorry, he was not.
There was someone who basically, this is where he was staying. Like he
Christian-
wasn't able to stay with his parents.
Christian Riggs was the
That's
individual.
Riggs?
Riggs was the individual that Mr. Carmody was the one who had bleached hair, and his Invisalign was stolen.
Ah, the Invisalign. Okay.
What?
Right.
Yeah.
Remember.
So
Invisalign.
and it's entitled, dated
That's funny. Whoa.
May 14th, 2024, entitled Victim Impact Statement of Holden Carmody, addressed to the judges and parole boards of Pritchett, Robinson, Kalish, and Riley. It's regarding state of Georgia v. Kalish, Pritchett, Riley, and Robinson, indictment 20 SC 176992, and reads as follows. I have been forever changed by the traumatic events of the home invasion and assault conducted and planned by the persons named. The experience occurred several months after I graduated from high school and immediately pushed me into a flight mode to escape and try to forget the near-death events. I chose to, quote, run to an unknown city, away from the support of my family, and I attempted to self-medicate by living a fast life with an unhealthy crowd of people.
Oh, you making
I
excuses.
spent nearly 2 years trying to avoid the feelings and engaged in bad behaviors. I distanced myself from my family. I didn't hold down a steady job and was generally lost. I stole my Invisalign braces because I left my home and my established doctors.
Yo got problems of a rich kid. He better stop crying. That boy making excuses. Somebody stole my Invisalign. Boy, they got your teeth print already in the spot, man. Go get a new one. Stop complaining. They problems of a silver spooner. Stop playing, boy.
I couldn't get a new set and proceed with my dental plan. My braces were not strictly for cosmetic reasons,
What?
and even if I had tried to renew the treatment plan in California, I didn't have the money to do so. And lacked the skill set
What?
as a young man to navigate the dental system on my own.
What?
Avoiding the den-
Yo wrote a full play of him worried about his teeth. Yo possibly could have lost his life, and he talking about his teeth.
Dentist and orthodontics has caused me additional and compounded
Yo.
health problems. I believe that it is fair to state that by running and
He need insurance.
delaying my education plans for college and removing myself from my family support, I have suffered financially because my life moved.
Yo, it's called growing up, bro, and being a man. You ain't had no bread to get all of that shit that your peoples was paying for. So now you out in the mud. You supposed to grind. Get you some work. Somebody will front you something. You need to get with YSL. Ticking them wasn't complaining. Shit, Bean was making something happen, even if he had to put his life on the line. You playing, cuz. You complaining about your Invisalign and how your teeth gonna be in the future. What about your future and your family, boy? You was getting supported by your peoples, and now you got put out and you on your own. You can't fend for yourself. Now you out here whining about how your teeth lined up. Boy, you need to get your back straight and go out there and do some work.
Off track. Witnessing the brutal violence of a person being beaten with a weapon while crying out for their life is traumatic. Their memories can lose.
That could have happened to you if you went to the army, boy. You a couple days away from going in the army or the military or some type of service, boy. You would have had to watch somebody get beat in that service too. You might have been getting beat. You know they get hazed and they get beat. That's nothing, bro. You whining about seeing people get beat. You lucky you ain't go to prison. You got to see people get beaten there too. People getting beat everywhere. Stop crying.
Loop in my brain and put me into a form of panic. There are
You just
several
scared.
triggers that cause me to struggle daily. Since the assault, I struggle with trust in people and in settings. I continue to have a habit of avoiding my back to doors and feeling that if I had a weapon during the invasion, I would have been safer. This attitude is at odds with my family and is a cause of great distress in our relationship. I have sought counseling at times and know I need something consistent in that regards because I am forever changed and affected by the nightmare of a gun to my head. Sincerely, Holden M. Carmody.
Yo, in the inner cities, the police be putting guns out on the black youth. Like, once you cross, like, the age of, like, I'm gonna say, like, 12, 13. Like, so somebody like Young Thug that's taller than the average young black male, he was probably getting a gun put to his head at probably, like, 13, 14. Real rap. So, like, I ain't trying to hear all that. Guns be coming out. It's a thing. It's America. Stop crying.
Thank you.
Yo, a whole panini up this bitch.
We have someone from pretrial on. Could I ask you a couple questions?
Who the hell-
Washington, hello.
Hey. Yes, you can. You can.
Who is this?
Okay. What criminal history information do you have for Miss Kalish?
I have one prior arrest cycle, not including the charges in this matter. There were a total of 3 arrest cycles, but that would include this matter. No felony convictions were listed, and the defendant did go through a pretrial diversion program, which resulted in a dismissal of the first arrest cycle. Nothing further.
What was that first arrest cycle for?
It was for possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, and that was out of DeKalb County.
Nah, tell us what drug it was.
Thank you so
Nah,
much.
don't try to just water
Appreciate
it
your
down.
time.
What drug was it? It's Schedule II. Oh my God.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Your Honor. You submitted letters to you the other day. Obviously, you replied that you had them. I got a few more letters just given to me as people walked in. I don't know if you want to look at them or you're okay with what you have.
Unless there's something really, really different in them, I take it that Ms. Kalish is a great neighbor, a great lacrosse teammate, works very hard at Goose Dumplings and other places. She's a great sister, et cetera, et cetera.
What? You just gonna assume that? You don't need to read it. Shorty was part of a robbery, but you assuming she a good person. What the hell is going? We live in an upside down world. Yin and yang. God. That's crazy. Shorty up here looking like G.I. Jane and shit. Getting the pass. That's crazy though.
Right. She has a lot of folks
Imagine
who
she was blonde. Oh my God.
support her, and many people who are very impressed.
She should have dyed her hair blonde. I ain't even gonna lie. If she really wanted to walk clean, she should have dyed that shit blonde, cuz. Straight up, her lawyer's stupid. I'd have told her, nah, shorty, we need that blonde coming in. Straight
the
up.
direction Ms. Kalish has taken after what has been described as unfortunate events, poor choices, not robberies with guns, etc. But she's got a lot of support. So unless there's something new in there, I feel well immersed in that feeling.
Do you have the same? That's the theme, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'm going to speak a little bit, and we'll let Ms. Kalish do more of the speaking. But before I came here, lying in bed last night, thinking about what I could tell you about Ms. Kalish,
Ho, ho, ho. Ho. You was lying in bed thinking about the judge?
At the beginning to where we are now.
Did you work with her from
From
the
day one.
outset?
From day one. And I was struggling with what to think about, because what to tell you, because it has case for so long, we've got to know, I say we, I have my paralegal sitting here, Charles Middlestat, who's defense investigator, intern. Other than our intern, we've known Lindsay for a long time, known her family. When Charles and I actually first got a call on Saturday after Thanksgiving 2019 from Lindsay's dad saying, "Thank God you answered the phone." It was like 8 o'clock at night. It's like, "We just called Bruce Harvey, but he didn't answer."
It's 101.9 radio. Fuck is wrong with you? Sub up.
EBAN Films.
Turn up. Tap the like button for me, y'all. So they called Bruce Harvey, homie with the pony. He ain't answer. They call homie with the pony. Homie with the pony. Homie. Yup, they called him, y'all. So look, that's odd. So all these lawyers just don't know which side of YSL they want to be on. That's crazy. They making money on both sides. Yeah, represent this guy, represent this guy. It's just all over. It's a lot of money floating around. Doesn't matter. But like, imagine that though, y'all. Like, yo, you up here defending this client on this, and then you see this shit going on. You getting calls. So he got a call. Hold on, it's 2019. So this before the YSL RICO even opened. Golly. But yo, this dude walked in the YSL trial, I believe, the other day. We couldn't see him. He was off camera. But y'all remember they mentioned the Zimmerman dude? Somebody tell me in the chat why they mentioned him. They mentioned his name previously in the trial, like the day before. Then the next day they talked about him and he popped up. He was representing somebody else in another trial or something. And he brought his name up, then he just slid in the room on some, oh, Zimmerman, yeah. Everybody was like, oh, yeah, what's up with you? That's crazy, right? But he representing this girl that's possibly could be adding to the fuckery of YSL right now, because she just pleaded guilty to a gang charge of being with YSL. But she ain't nowhere near being with no damn YSL. Even the niggas that she was with wasn't even real YSL, y'all. But they all got charged. What y'all think about that?
So I picked up the phone, got involved, got with Charles. We went down to the jail a day or two later to see Lindsay down at, I guess, Union City Jail. And she was scared, remorseful, in a terrible place mentally.
Like Ghana.
Couldn't believe what she got herself involved in. She'd been involved with, pills, drugs, wanting to live a different, loose and fast life. Got involved with some guys that was a little beyond her grasp, and
That's not the truth. Hold on. She came up with the robbery. What do you mean? You can't sell this like she got manipulated by the people she got with. This was her and her homegirl. So if anything, you had to say she got manipulated by her lacrosse homegirl to do this. They came up with the plan, but you see how he trying to sell it. He blaming it on the black boys. Look how he doing it, y'all.
She was scared she knew to prison for the rest of her life. She knew what she did was wrong. She comes from a great family. She's a smart kid.
So y'all allowing her to save her life, the rest of her life, for selling them two boys out. So she gets to keep her life, no prison time, y'all. But them two gotta go to jail, y'all. That's crazy, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. This is so unfair.
Had a good life before this, just took a wrong turn. She had a scholarship to play lacrosse. By all accounts, this was not the person that anybody ever thought she would be. At some point, a couple months later, we were able to successfully work out a bond. She immediately wanted to cooperate and help, and Charles and I met with Mr. Hiles and Detective Maldonado, and she provided a statement.
Detective Maldonado, he's involved in the YSL case. So if you're wondering why we watching this is connected. Y'all think it's not. Look at the similar players. Pay attention. So Maldonado, he's coming. Yes, he coming in the YSL trial. Yeah, he ain't come yet, did he? No, but I seen his testimony at the beginning before the trial started. So I actually got when he came in the beginning, and his name been popping up, but he ain't pop up to testify yet, did he? He coming. If he didn't already, I don't think he did.
She was crucial because nobody else could really identify Robinson and Pritchett. I remember back then, Mr. Paul Howard didn't want our involvement, but Mr. Hiles impressed upon him that it was important because they needed her specifically to identify the other two.
Hold on, you heard? Whoa. So he's saying the DA was Paul Howard when they had this case, and he said they didn't want her to cooperate at first. So they was going to smash her ass. You hear that? That was odd. Let me know. Pay attention.
Come today, she told me that she remembers listening to the jail calls when Lindsay was in jail and remembers how remorseful Lindsay was just on the phone calls to her family compared to the other perpetrator, Miss Riley, who was not
Good morning.
as remorseful. She got bond. She went home very strict
Hold on, yo. Shorty got on my glasses.
circumstances, at home confinement, living with her parents. She got a job. She was not allowed to be on social media. She followed all those rules to the T. I don't think there's any violations whatsoever. During that time, Max Pritchett had a probation revocation hearing, which Lindsay did go, and that was her first time. She testified against him twice.
Wow.
She testified against Max Pritchett at that hearing. In fact, sort of funny side.
Yo, just to let you know, she wiped him down and then told on him. You heard me? She wiped him down and then told on him. Yeah.
As I was driving down to the courthouse, got a call from Miss McCauley that Lindsay was in court and she needed stockings because she probably would look better. And so I just stopped at the Walgreens
Yes,
on
Elaine.
Marietta Street. I was about to go out of business and get some stockings to bring to the courthouse.
Her personal shopper as well.
Yeah, because Lauren said it looked like more like Lindsay's going to go to a club than to testify. But she didn't know.
What happened?
My fault for not telling her maybe to dress a little bit different.
What happened?
But my point in telling you all for not to stop at the Walgreens over on Marietta Street. I was about to go out of business and get some stockings to bring to the courthouse.
Her personal.
What?
Street. I was about to go out of business and get some stockings to bring to the courthouse.
Her personal shopper as well.
Yeah, because Lauren said it looked like more like Lindsay's going to go to a club than to testify. But she didn't know. My fault for not telling her maybe to.
You bought that blazer she got on?
But my point in telling you all this is because it's been a arc from who she was when we first met her to where we are today.
Oh, so you saying without sending her to prison, she's changed. So she ain't even need to go to prison to get fixed. So you probably could have did that with Max. Remember, he was in there being a lawyer. He was in there really already acting like he had sense. Maybe if y'all gave him the same opportunity. Don't you think, Zimmerman? You don't think so?
She, my daughter plays high school lacrosse. Lindsay even recommended.
No, talking about your daughter though, cuz. Keep that to yourself. This ain't got nothing to do with your personal life. We talking about this criminal right here. And I don't think you want to compare your daughter to this criminal we got right here. This a cold-hearted criminal that went on an armed robbery where some people got hurt. Aggravated assaults. It ain't nothing smooth about this or rehabilitatable about this lady right here. Nah.
Her coach, my daughter wanted to play goalie, so Lindsay's old coach and former teammate Julie has been my daughter's coach the last few years, tutoring her, training her. Julie couldn't be here today. But Lindsay is not the person she was in 2019. And, thankfully, I say thankfully, not thankfully that we had COVID, but thankfully she had the opportunity that when unfortunately we had the pandemic, this slowed down the case, obviously along with Max Pritchett and sovereign citizen stuff, but that slowed down the case because she was able to spend time at home, work on herself, spend time with her friends, her family, and make something really of herself to have a future. Because the way things looked at the beginning,
So her having time at home with her family and friends allow her to rehabilitate instead of being incarcerated. But the dudes who was incarcerated got locked up for a long time. I ain't gonna lie, yeah.
She's gonna have absolutely no future whatsoever. And she is a changed person. I can't, she calls me, she texts me. I just want to read to you what she sent me for my birthday.
Oh.
Because she's a very she's a big heart. On my
He
birthday,
couldn't even get it right. My man is a devilish lawyer. He ain't even know how to say it right. You heard him? Yeah. He ain't even know how to say the good phrase. Look, he finagled it, dropped the ball, fumbled. Look, because she's
a very
what? A what? A what? Boy, you a snake. You can't even say it right.
My birthday. Because she's a very she's a big heart.
Boy, you fucked it up.
On my birthday, last heart. She's a big heart. Because she's a very she's a big heart. Because she's a very
A what?
She's a big heart.
What?
On my birthday, last
She what? Cap.
May 4th, she texted me, "Happy birthday. You're my real life Superman, and I appreciate all your hard work and dedication."
Bro, you're her lawyer ready to save her life, bro. That don't count. Nigga, Christmas, goddamn, best wishes from people who are criminals waiting for trial to get free. That shit don't count. Yo, it's Cap. That's a Dear John letter, bro. Stop, bro. Of course she's sending. Yo, criminals say some of the sweetest things, bro. You're supposed to ignore it and see if they say it when they get home. That's Cap.
You deserve to have the best day ever. Enjoy your concert. Went to Colorado for a concert. So
How she
that's
know
the
all
type
that
of
hold?
person-
So you getting personal with her, huh? That's a little bit too much info for a client and a lawyer, man. I ain't gonna lie.
She's probably always been. She took a pretty bad right turn for a while, but she's back on track.
Bro,
Everybody-
you ain't no professional track knower for humans, bro. You don't know when somebody on track. So you ever said that for a black? Yo, I want to see you argue for one of these black kids.
Here today is for Lindsay. I assume, right? Everybody's here, right? Yep. Okay.
It's okay not to be for Lindsay. You're not required to if you're here. To be clear.
I don't know everybody's face. I'm just making sure. Richard Elliott's here too.
Oh, we got a slew of white people in the back that's here
She
for
has a
it.
lot of support, and she's really.
And we laughing
come a
about
long
her
way.
staging a robbery
And she'll do.
and going in on the robbery first to scope it out. Then the black dudes came in with their masks. But the white girls went in first to scope it out. So if you an accomplice on a robbery where people got assaulted, are you allowed to walk away scot-free? Mm-hmm.
Great things.
You get a whole man named Scott for free. Hell yeah. What the hell?
Working at Tappers, Goose Dumpling. She's a personal trainer out at Crunch.
What? Yo, put that in there.
also
She's a
had-
personal trainer at Crunch. No black kid would never get credit in court for being a personal trainer. You ain't never heard a black kid get no goddamn credit in court for being a personal trainer. That nigga just, she's a personal trainer at Crunch. What?
Thank Reeves, because honestly, it's the first time I did really put my trust in a prosecutor for the last 5 years and really just trust that we'd end up in the right place at some time. Because there's never really any promise of where we'd be or what he'd recommend. But I did have a lot of faith in him and got a little nervous when there's a little bit of a switch. But I do thank you for your hard work in communicating and working with me and working with us. It's been a long road. And we're happy we're finally here today. It's not a graduation that we want, but certainly a graduation of different sort. And we ask that you accept the recommendation. And I'm going to let Ms. Kalish take it from here.
Before I hear from her, I have read the many letters, minus whatever you just received. Is there anyone else who's going to be saying anything on her behalf? Because I'd like to interact with Ms. Callis last. So if there is anyone else, now is the time rather than after.
I think we're mostly okay. Is there anybody that feels the need? We're fine, Your Honor.
All right. So you
Yo, mind you, this dude right here was acting like a jerk to the other dudes, the YSO dudes, Max and them. He was acting like a jerk. Now he all laid back and pleasant. It's crazy. Shorty over here looking like goddamn Katy Perry. Man.
You want to go first or you want me to go first? I mean, I have some questions. But
What? How's she happy?
you have some things you want to say and want to get those out,
I
maybe
think
you'll
so.
answer some of my questions and then I don't need to ask them, but we can
Yo,
do
let
it.
me know in the comments what she about to say. Let me get some predictions. Come on, before she starts saying it, y'all, just flood it. What is she about to say?
By the way,
If
Why
that's
should
all
we-
right, I'd speak. I
I
would like
asked her to
speak
write
first.
something that she can look at because she's very nervous. So
I can understand why you're nervous and it's fine to read something. And if you have
Everybody's so polite.
difficulty reading it, hand it to Superman and he will read it.
listen, I'm nervous too because I care.
You'll get through
I
it.
need to.
So yeah, okay.
I need to.
You know which door you're going out.
Oh, you nervous? Nah, Cap, you know which door you going out. You ain't nervous.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, Mr. Hiles, and members of the court. First, I want to apologize. I'm sorry to the victims and their family for the trauma, pain, and suffering that was caused.
Objection, plagiarism. That AI wrote that, Your Honor. We not accepting it.
And to my family and friends that I have disappointed as a result, I am filled with deep regret and
Whoa.
remorse with my involvement in the incident that
Whoa.
occurred on November 8th, 2019. I am so sorry for what the victims had to go through, and I truly hope that they are able to move past this and live fulfilling lives. No one deserves to have their life threatened and be put in such a dangerous situation. I don't think that they will be able to forgive me and my poor decisions, but I want them to understand the full sincerity of my words. I stand before you, Your Honor, the court, friends, and family, not as the 19-year-old naive girl, but as someone who has dedicated the past
Man, she could barely read.
4.5 years of my life to create
Send her ass to prison, man. She need to get a GED, man.
the best version of Lindsay Kalish. This includes boundaries, morals, values, productivity, helping others, and selflessness. The journey began with the realization of the harm that I inflicted on others and myself. It was truly a wake-up call and a moment of clarity that forced me to face the consequences of my actions. During my time in custody, I learned invaluable lessons on accountability, empathy, and the severity of my actions. It wasn't easy, but I found the strength in the support of my loved ones and the ones who believed in my ability to change. After being released from physical confinement, it was the start of a second chance. With the strict conditions of my bond, I severed the relationship I had with drugs, social media, and people who did not have my best interests. Realizing and learning that true fulfillment comes within my identities and my values. True fulfillment does not come from external validation or substances. I discovered that I found fulfillment in being more present with my family, the joy of genuine connections, the satisfaction of being true to myself, the importance of integrity and empathy in all my interactions. Testifying against others was a terrifying challenge, but I did not let the fear steer me away from speaking the truth. It was the right thing to do, not just for myself, but for the victims as well. I am committed to making amends with my past to pay back what I helped cause and turning my remorse into positive actions. Every day I try to be a better person than I was yesterday, to live with purpose and show compassion and integrity towards anyone I meet. This is not a journey I can face alone. I'm overwhelmed with the support shown from my friends, family, and unexpected allies. I'm extremely thankful to my legal counsel for his dedication, diligence, and compassion. I would not be here today if it were not for you. I would like to thank the prosecution for their patience, understanding, and acceptance and recognition of my transformation. Your Honor, Judge McBurney, I would like to thank you for being so patient, fair, and approving of the amendments of my bond. As I look to the future, I am filled with confidence and determination that I will achieve great things. Through years of therapy, I have learned that I cannot have my past define me. If it were not for this incident, I would not be where I am today. I would probably be dead. The past 4 years have been the most difficult years of my life emotionally, and up until this day where I hope to get some clarity, it has been hard to be excited about a future when I am unsure of the outcome today. Through this journey of self-discovery and growth, I have accomplished many things that are proof that I can be a productive member of society and to be of a service to others. The journey has only begun, And I would like to thank you for believing in me, giving me this opportunity and the understanding of second chances.
Thank you for sharing that.
You ain't crying, ho.
Tell me, at the ripe old age of 23 and the amount of time you've had to reflect, why you think you ended up in Ross Coleman's apartment that night.
What?
I don't mean like specifically Lauren called me, but like what in your life led you from being star lacrosse player at Northview High School, supportive family. You are benefiting from a lot of things that I can't tell what was going on with Mr. Pritchett's family, but life is about
Why did the judge just do that?
comparisons, and I need to compare you with the other people who were involved in this case. And Mr. Robinson, I don't think had many of the breaks you had in life, and that's not his fault. It's not your.
Yo, how do y'all feel about someone giving more breaks to someone who had breaks and more pressure to someone who was living under pressure? Yo just admitted that he smashed kids who was troubled and had hard lives, and he's allowing someone to get away that had been getting away and having a fluffy life. I ain't gonna lie, that's some backwards. This is crazy. Yo, I feel like if you had a privileged life, you should have sense not to put your goddamn life on the line. And if you poor and your back touching your goddamn ribs, then you probably gonna do some nutty shit because you hungry. And I'm going to excuse you. I understand your dumb ass jumped out the window because you ain't had no food. You hungry.
Your fault. It's just sort of the reality, but I can chart his trajectory more clearly. He had all sorts of issues, juvenile court, et cetera, and you see a grim path, and he found family
Grim.
through.
Oh shit, we talking mistrial. We talking mistrial. Yo, you giving your opinion on why you felt like you felt during that trial, during your explanation on why you giving her a sentence? Oh, hell no. If I'm his lawyer, I feel like this is some mistrial shit right here. Uh-oh. That's how you was feeling the whole time, cuz? Oh, hell no. I hear some bias in there. Hell no. You got preconceived notions and shit. Nah, I don't like that. I've been reading some appeals, y'all. And that type shit right there, he just said, I ain't gonna lie, he leaning. He leaning right now, y'all. Like his wordplay right now is he getting a little bit past what the hell a judge supposed to say from that robe, y'all. His shit supposed to be more neutral and vague. He getting real, I don't know. If you a lawyer, let me know, man. Straight up, that shit, this lane he picking right here to excuse her sounds fishy because he brought up the other co-defendant, y'all. I'm going to keep it real.
Whatever sect of YSL we were dealing with.
Whoa.
Your course doesn't make sense to me, and so I'd like you to tell me.
He just said that courses make sense to him sometimes, therefore his judgment is based on it. That's what he just said.
Now that you've had 4.5 years to think about it, however long it's been, why you ended up in Ross Coleman's apartment that night.
I always felt like I needed to belong somewhere.
Oh.
In high school, it was hard to keep friends. And then I got out, and Lauren, who I thought was my best friend, it felt
She ain't stopped being your best friend until you got caught. True or false?
almost secure in a way that I had somebody.
If you got that creak in your throat, go ahead and cry. If you make it to the end of your speech without crying, baby girl, it's fake.
It was a sense of belonging. It was a sense of like lust and greed.
What?
I would see all these people on Instagram and rappers, what I thought was a great life with a bunch of money, and they didn't have to work. And it was
Oh, snap. Did she just say that? She wanted to not work. Bro, if a black boy say that in court, oh my God, Becky.
very infatuating. I was very drawn to that, a sense of belonging, a sense of doing whatever I need to.
Yo, let me tell y'all, if you listening and your ass is melanated, you better not ever say nothing like that on that goddamn stand. You don't ever. Yo, listen. If you look like me, don't ever go say no shit like that in no courtroom. You heard me? Listen. Tell your kids. Ever say no shit like that.
Feel accepted.
Okay, I think I understand that. Keeping up with the comparisons, Mr. Pritchett got a second chance. He
What?
was involved in a real serious thing where someone died, a home invasion. They just didn't get a call at that because there wasn't a felony ultimately inside the house.
What?
And his lawyer argued persuasively in front of another judge to give Max Pritchett another chance because he had done well in high school, et cetera, young, not much of a criminal history, a lot like you in some respects. And it doesn't seem like it was a good idea to say you should have a second chance. That did not end well for the DJ at the party. It did not end well for any of those.
All right. So the judge is admitting that he shouldn't let her go because Max Pritchett, who was her co-defendant, was let go on a previous charge and he wound up doing this. So he's saying that technically because of the case law that's involved in this case itself has another case attached to it that says he shouldn't let her go on first offender because they did that with Max and he committed another robbery and that's how we got here today. So he's saying he should smash her, but he's not.
Folks who were held at gunpoint. And we heard how this has affected Mr. Carmody, and he didn't have his head cracked open. He had his Invisaligns taken, but it's affected
Stop
him
saying that.
in a way that shouldn't happen to anyone. Why am I not going to see you in 3 years with Mr. Zimmerman at your side saying, Judge, it's okay. I know it's the second time, but really we need to give Ms. Kalish a third chance.
I've taken these years to change every aspect of how I thought, what I was doing, who I was hanging out with, the stuff I was indulging in. I've changed.
You stop
all
trying to be
that.
black.
I don't find fulfillment in it anymore. I don't think I involve myself with bad people. Everybody's here to support me. They're all coworkers, friends who all have my best interests. But each and every day, I try to be better than the last and show empathy towards myself because I can't punish myself forever, but to move past that and
Still date black men.
just continue to be on a good path. If that answered your question.
It did.
Yo, they not telling y'all about the people that were the victims of this crime weren't victims. They were actually committing crimes that were actually more advanced than the robbery itself. Yes, some of these people were from across state lines. They travel with drugs. They party with boys. It was a boy-on-boy party with a lot of drugs and money. It was a celebration for a guy from California that travels around the United States with drugs. And he shares the drugs with other people. So technically, you got a RICO in the house before the robbery goes down. Ugh. Oh, they got immunity. Huh? Oh, yeah, they got immunity for all the drugs. Yeah. Yeah. What'd you say? Oh, you know how that work. If you ain't from the trenches, you know how to go. If you ain't from the trenches, they look out for you on them court benches.
No, and you are showing me that you have, it's not just what people have written here. You've actually been processing what you went through and in some ways, more importantly, what you put other people through.
I know still brought him in, bro. But why did his name get mentioned in the trial before they brought him in? His name got mentioned before that. What did he do? He represented somebody else, or his name got mentioned in relation to the YSL trial before he got brought in. He represented King Troop? Where you get that from? Where that King Troop come from?
The gun in your hand. You want the one with the gun, but you knew how this was going to go down. And everyone is fortunate that the way it went down is that no one was killed, because I'll bet you a large sum, more than rappers make.
Whoa. I don't know what he about to say, but he just let y'all know. You know how this work. You watched First 48 before. If you go with somebody on the commission of a crime and people get hurt, then you going down too. You went with them. That's you assaulted them too. You getting charged with that. All right, she's being let go. Yeah, people got assaulted. Mad ag assaults in there. Hell yeah. For real. Yeah, ag assault all up and down in there. So that means she should have got charged with that too. That's just like if you go on a robbery and your man get hit, you getting charged with that like Lucci. Stop playing. Y'all know how this go. So let's look at the Lucci situation. You mean? Now he made out too, something fishy. So compare it. She made out from telling. What Lucci do? Uh-oh. Wow, that was tight how I just used that to prove Lucci telling. You see that? I'm nice. I ain't even mean to start off like that. My bad, Luch. I ain't mean to prove you was telling like that. But technically, I did prove you was telling, Luch. Luch, if you hear this, let me know. You don't want no smoke. You don't want to squabble, nigga. Straight up, nigga, you told.
That had someone died as a result of this, Mr. Hiles wouldn't be saying 15 years probation.
Yeah.
It might be less than the people who did the shooting, but it wouldn't. This opportunity that you and your lawyer have been able to create for yourself, I don't think would have been on the table. And there's not much separating that outcome from what happened. The guns were there, the people were there, and you never know. Again, you were out of the house by then, but someone in the house has a gun, and then you've got someone with a gun pointing a gun at someone with a gun, and that never ends well. So it was a real messy situation you were in. Okay. Well, I appreciate very much, Mr. Zimmerman, the work you did to paint a comprehensive picture of what Ms. Kalish has been doing since the incident, but also what she was like before the incident. And that's helpful in a way that I don't always get when I'm confronted with a complicated sentencing. This is a gray situation. Ms. Kalish wasn't the one with the mask and the gun, but she also wasn't someone who simply provided a tip and then said, hey, you guys do with it what you will. Do you have any questions about anything, Ms. Kalish?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, I find that there's a factual basis for your plea. I'm pretty familiar.
Yo, black girls that set up robberies and dudes get robbed, they go to jail too. True or false? Let me know in the comments.
Familiar with the facts of the case, and so I'll accept your plea. I also find that your plea is knowing and voluntary. Voluntary means no one's forcing you to enter this plea. You are standing here next to Mr. Zimmerman because you've decided this is the right way forward. You know, you could go to trial, the jury could hear all about it, and you're choosing instead to enter a plea. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And a knowing plea just means you've understood all about your rights to have a trial and the fact that your lawyer could cross-examine witnesses, et cetera, et cetera. Knowing all those things, you're agreeing to waive those rights and enter a plea. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. I need to talk to you about first offender. Do you have a position on first offender, or you simply ask some questions about it?
I am comfortable with her taking it, given the length of the awaited sentence. And however, I would defer to the court.
Okay, I know you're not commanding me, but you don't object.
No.
Okay, all right, that's what I was getting at. Because sometimes with charges this serious, Ms. Kalish clearly qualifies for first offender, but the state says, hey, someone got shot in the arm, it's not okay to do first offender. No one got shot in the arm, and there's clearly a precedent for first offender and home invasions involving Max Pritchett. So, okay, first offender is primarily an opportunity and a benefit. It means that while you will be under sentence for a long time, if I follow this recommendation, you don't have a conviction. So if you're trying to go back to school, get a job, keep a job, anything where someone says, hey, do you have a felony? You can check the box no, and you're not crossing your finger.
Whoa!
Oh my God, from EBAN, man. Oh my God, how I find them niggas from EBAN, man.
Whoa!
Yeah, say I'm back on it, man.
That's crazy.
But they can't how I find them niggas from EBAN.
What?
Yeah, we back on it.
I can't. Look at her face. Look at her face.
EBAN.
Look at her face.
Man, them the niggas I'm
What?
looking for can't find.
That is crazy. What?
Shit, nigga,
This is crazy.
back on here, and we in here. So yeah, I'll be back later.
Yo, I don't even think I ever heard of no shit like that, yo. You get off and you can check the box. What is that? I don't even know if they do that where I'm at. I swear to God, y'all. I don't even think they do that where I'm at, y'all. Yo, swear. I don't think they got that where they can wipe you down and get your felony wiped down to as though you can check a box and say you ain't got no damn felony. I don't know about that. What is that? Sheesh.
Fingers behind your back. You will not.
Bro. NYC do that? What?
Have this sentence, and it's a very real sentence. It's not a pretend sentence. But a first offender is someone who doesn't have a conviction.
It's first offender. No, I don't think we got that.
And if you navigate till you are 38 or whatever it would be, depending on the sentence I give you, and it's successful, and maybe it ends a little early because you're doing well, but whatever.
Oh, for sure it's going to end early. You know good and goddamn well you're going to get it to end early.
End of that sentence, if you complete it successfully, you can work to have it all expunged.
Oh.
It wasn't a conviction to begin with, but you can have it even further removed from your record. That's the good side of first offender. You know someone personally for whom first offender didn't go well, and that's Mr. Pritchett. And I'm not saying you are he, but that's a great illustrative example. If we are together again in 6 months, not because I'm at Crave and you're helping me work out or Crunch or whatever it's called, but you're back in here because you got arrested for doing something, and it doesn't need to be as serious as this, but you didn't really tell us what the true arc is. The arc that's been illustrated is you may get pulled over for speeding, but that's going to be your engagement with law enforcement. But if we're wrong about that, and your arc is elsewhere, and you're back here because of a burglary or this or that, not only do you have new charges, but I have the ability, if the state proves that you violated your first offender probation, and that's a much lower burden. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt. It's probable cause. It's not it's a preponderance of the evidence. It's not a lot. If the state proves that, I don't know what I do. It would depend on the circumstances, but I could revoke your first offender status and resentence you. And you have pled to, what's the maximum for the game? Is 5 to 20?
5 to 20.
Okay, so
165.
Yeah, it's a lot of years. You'd be dead.
Whoa! So we going from a lot of years to no time.
I'm mad. I'm sorry.
If I were to revoke and sentence you.
I'm mad. I'm sorry.
It's crazy. Crazy.
To all of it. Now, you'd have to do something pretty extreme. There need to be some dead bodies piled up, but you need to understand the risk because that's a big old window. And so you could be back here and all you did was steal someone's car. Okay, wrong arc. Clearly, we were misled. All these people who took time out of their life to say, Lindsay's a great person, Ms. Callis is a great person, you duped them. As I might say 5 years or 10 years, that's all within 0 to 160. And I'm emphasizing that because I need to make sure you understand the downside or the risk of first offender. It can all come tumbling down. And that's exactly what happened to Mr. Pritchett, not on his sentence in this case, but in that revocation at which you testified with Mr. Zimmerman's hose. So do you feel like you understand the pros and the cons of first offender?
Yes, sir.
Understanding them, do you want to be sentenced as a first offender?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I am sentencing you under the Probation Options Management Act. And that means that while you're on probation, if you have a technical violation, that would mean missing a meeting, or maybe once you test positive for something you shouldn't have in your system, you and probation can work that out. They might recommend you get some.
Oh, yo, this is crazy. How many favors is he going to do so she can get a violation that don't violate her?
Drug counseling or who knows what, if something like that happened, but you don't have to come back here. But if it's more serious, any kind of arrest, anything that would indicate, and
yo, I've never heard
prosecution, the DA's office and these investigators, they are all over social media. And so if your face pops up and it's you and Voss Coleman or something like that, they're going to jump on that. I'm letting you know they're going to jump on it. And you saw it during the trial. And if I'm confronted with an Instagram or whatever the latest app is, and it's clear that photo was generated after today, that's you hanging out with gang folks. You might as well get arrested with guns and drugs. It's going to have the same impact because, again, you're representing, and you've demonstrated to many, your arc is this way, and we'll find you over there. So you just need to understand how that will work while you're on probation. All right. I am sentencing you as follows. For counts 2 through 8, your sentence is 15 years to serve 2 months with the balance on probation. You've already served 71 days, so you get credit for the 2 months. Those will all run concurrently with each other. And your sentence on count 18 is the same, 15 years to serve 2 months, balance probated.
Posted up out here.
I am adding a special condition that was not part of what was negotiated because the negotiations don't bind me, and it reflects in my mind the appropriate balance between the seriousness of what happened, the impact of what happened on the many victims, the risk that was involved, and frankly, the way in which your case has ultimately played out, where in contrast and comparing you to some of the other defendants, you will likely be the only one whose time in jail is relatively brief. But you will spend the first 10 weekends beginning on June, turn yourself in on a Friday evening, which would be May 31st. So that's a few Fridays from now. 10 consecutive weekends in the county jail. That's a condition of your probation. It's not a sentence of prison. You did the 2 months already, but for 10 consecutive weekends, you need to turn yourself in by 5 o'clock to the county jail. You'll get out by 5 o'clock on Sunday. And that first weekend starts on May 31st. The other special conditions of your probation are no contact with any of the victims in this case, which should generally be easy. It sounds like you knew a couple of them informally, but they're all dead to you now.
Whoa.
And similarly, no contact with any of your 3 co-defendants.
Yo. Let me know in the comments how that phrase sounded to you. They're all dead to you now? Wow. Such choice wording from a judge.
And then number 2, this is now condition 3 because of the first one I added. You need to not have any contact with anyone who
crazy
is apparent to you to be a member of a street gang. That doesn't mean if you're working in a restaurant, this guy comes in and he's got tattoos that say to you, hey, you don't have to not serve that person. This would be, I'm going to meet people and I'm going to socially interact with them, not through my work, but this is the group I want to spend time with. That's not your group anymore. It doesn't sound like that's the group you want, no matter how flashy the lifestyle may seem, but that is designed to just be another guardrail. It's a prohibition on your sentence to keep you out of crowds that your participation in those groups got you to where you are now. Okay. I know you had asked for something about no gang activity, but that's going to be something that would lead.
Yo, she a YSL gang member, bro, that just got served with 15 years probation, first 10 weekends to serve. How many days is that? 10 times 2. That's 20 days. 20 days. Yo, when you do weekends, do you even do 48 hours for real? I could have swore niggas be out early, don't they? What you go in like Friday evening and get out Sunday evening? Is it a 4:48 though?
To arrest anyway.
The only reason I asked for it was because it's statutory.
Bro, so essentially, she gonna wind up doing more time in jail slightly than the gang experts did with training. The gang experts should be forced to do 10 weekends of gang training if they gonna do this with her, man.
Okay, well, you statutorily asked for it. All right.
They being fair as a square,
anything
man.
that you want to add, or any concerns that you have about the sentence, Mr. Hiles?
Nothing I want to add. I just want to hand you the waiver.
Thank you for putting the indictment number on it. Mr. Hiles, do you authorize someone from my office to sign the indictment indicating Ms. Kalish's first offender guilty plea to the counts we discussed?
Yes, I do.
All right, and we'll make sure that there's a null pros stamp for all the other counts. Mr. Zimmerman, do you have anything else that we need to discuss?
Can I just give me 30 seconds? Because that's a change in the negotiations. Let me just discuss that with her real quickly.
Okay.
What? You changing negotiations? What's she gonna complain? Yo, tell me what weekends is like in Fulton County, y'all. And if she told, they putting in Fulton County or she on PC weekends?
Yeah. Nope, we're good on that, Your Honor. I would ask, is there a bid date associated with this?
So I thought about that.
No, she need to start this
and
weekend.
I don't think so.
No, we're gonna start it today. Now she might as well just go ahead and get it rolling today. To be honest, Judge, you should have put her in there for a solid 20. I ain't gonna lie, I think the solid 20 pack would have been better than the weekends, Judge. Yeah, won't you just go ahead and get it out the way?
Because it's first offender, and I am open to engaging with, let me make clear so everyone who's listening understands. Mr. Zimmerman asked if I was going to set a behavioral incentive date. That, when one is imposed, can lead to the end of the sentence. But I think there was a fair amount of thought that went into what for me is an exceedingly long probationary sentence. I don't like super long probation sentences, more so though in a setting where it's going to be a tripwire for someone whose life may bend back into, you know what, I'm desperate, and the way I'm gonna make my money is I'm gonna engage in a hustle. I don't see that right now for Ms. Kalish. That doesn't mean I'm treating her differently because she's privileged, but I think the hand that goes into the glove of first offender is a pretty long probationary term, so that we know not just 3 years down the road, but 5 or 7, Ms. Kalish has an incentive to continue heading on the arc that she has described and demonstrated over the last few years. The pandemic was terrible for many, many people, but it was very much a silver lining for you, because it is rare that a defense attorney can say, let me tell you what my client has done for the last week, last month. How about the last 3 years? That's usually not what happens. I'm told, hey, it's been 2 weeks and she didn't get arrested. Well, I would hope not, because she's staying at home with the ankle monitor. But you've had plenty of time to show the world that you hadn't learned and hadn't changed your ways.
But Judge, she wiped them down and then told on them though.
As a result of what you and your co-defendants put people through. So there's not a reason to celebrate the pandemic, but there's a reason to say that afforded you an opportunity that you made the most of. So that's why I'm not setting a behavioral incentive date, because I don't want the sentence to end early. That doesn't mean it couldn't become non-reporting pretty quickly. And that's a function of how well you do with probation. Probation officers are busy, busy people, and they are mostly busy with people who are hard to supervise. If you make yourself easy to supervise, eventually the probation officer wants you off their docket, because what's the point? We always know where you are. Unsupervised probation is what you might then be striving for after you establish a number of months or years of no issues with probation. We can always revisit this several years down the road, but for now, I'm comfortable with that long time horizon. also in part because
Whoa.
if we are all mistaken or life throws a curveball at Ms. Kalish and she relapses the wrong word, but shifts the way she approaches things and regresses, then there's something to work with. And I think that that's appropriate, again, given the severity of what we're dealing with. It's not a stolen car case.
We're with the court, whatever you want to do. Like, I don't have much to say to that. But,
Okay.
you know, to your point, the case, you know, Gall versus United States, similarly, it's sort of the same situation. Gall, college student, had a very long time in a federal case to better his life and ended up getting a degree and owning a construction company. That's thankfully where we've had that time.
Yep.
And Lynn's been able to prove herself.
Yep. So that is, I guess, a long way of saying, let's talk again later if you want to see if it's appropriate to modify something. But this is a sentence that up front is going to be unpleasant on the weekends, and then Ms. Kalish can reinvest in work, school, family, friends, the things that she's demonstrated she's committed to over the last few years. And I suspect that the four of us won't ever be together again in this setting, I guess, unless Ms. Riley goes to trial. Ms. Callis, do you have any questions about anything we discussed?
No, sir.
All right, last thing. We have someone from probation on this call, and she needs to give you reporting instructions. Ms. Tucson?
Bro, so to the people watching this on the playback, let me know what you think about this. So, the dudes from this trial, Baby Slack and Max, yeah, they got hit hard, right? But Shorty got hit with weekends and a lot of probation. Just 10 weekends and 15 years probation with a whole bunch of leeway. You know what I mean? Real rap. Let me know in the comments how you feel about it and what effect is this going to have on the Young Thug case. She pleaded guilty to being a gang member, y'all. I don't know. YSL Becky, Bleveland Becky, whatever you want to call it, y'all. This girl got charged as being a YSL gang member somehow for some fluke mission, a botched robbery. Like, yeah, it's crazy. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, though, about that.
Ms. Tucson? Well, she's trying to connect a second time. Maybe one of these will allow her to talk to us. We may have to revert to Ms. Tucson being here in person.
I'm back on. My internet went out. I apologize.
Okay. Can you please?
I just rejoined the call.
All right. Can you work with Ms. Kalish on reporting instructions, please?
Bro. So, yeah. That's that. Hold on, y'all. Let me see what I can find real quick. Let me see what this is. Yeah, y'all. We still in it to win it. Saturday night. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know if I seen these dudes in this trial. Let me see if I can find some heat for us real quick, y'all. Hold up. We might be able to find some more players. It's YSL related, y'all. Let me see who these people is. All right, yeah, here go crime. This lady is in the YSL trial right here. All right, so I already found somebody. She from the YSL trial, y'all. She just ain't come yet, did she? I got her testifying, but it was at the beginning before the trial started in the motion hearings. She a specialist. She ain't come in the real trial yet, did she? Nah, y'all. I don't think y'all seen it. I ain't watching on live stream, did I? Y'all ain't see this lady yet, did y'all? She got coming to YSL trial. Hold on, let me see who else they got. Yeah, I got her testimony in the YSL. I'm going to play it for y'all, though. I'm going to find it again. I ain't play it.
Sergeant Patton.
It's kind of boring, but it's interesting because we got to see her later. And she real tech. She, hold on. What kind of specialist was she? She not crime scene, y'all. She work in the lab. I think of it. Hold on.
Currently employed.
Fayette County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you been employed there?
15 years.
Who?
What?
Can you state and spell your name for the record?
Yes, sir. It's Sergeant Clint Patton, CLINT PATTON.
Okay.
Never heard of him.
Sergeant Patton, where are you currently employed?
Fayette County Sheriff's Office.
Oh, yeah, let's get his
How long
ass
have you
out
been
of here.
employed there?
15 years.
What is your current job title?
I am a sergeant over criminal investigations.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
I ain't see all this right
how
here.
long have
Hold, what's
you
all
been in
this?
that particular capacity?
Hold on, y'all. We got something. We got a crime scene. I ain't see all this. I don't know what this is. Hold on.
So were you in criminal investigation?
First name is Lucas, spelled Lukaszz.
I'm getting nice as shit skimming through. Y'all see that? I'm skimming through to the parts where these niggas starting at for real.
Last name is Sajak, spelled S.
Yeah, this nigga last name Sajak. Yeah, shout out to his father.
JDAK.
Good morning.
That
morning,
nigga named Sajak. Yeah. 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 Oh, ain't no way this nigga on thug list. I'd have noticed him. Atlanta Police Department. What you do, cuz?
Morning, investigator Sajak.
Good morning, sir.
Where are you currently employed?
I'm currently employed with the City of Atlanta Police Department.
What you do?
Okay. And how long have you been employed there?
A little over 13 years.
Okay. And what are your current duties?
Currently, I'm assigned to the fugitive unit.
Okay. And what are your tasks at the fugitive unit?
As a fugitive investigator, we get assigned cases for persons wanted for violent felonies such as murders, aggravated assaults, robberies, and we're tasked with locating them and executing those arrest warrants, apprehending them, bringing them into custody, and in turn, bringing them down to Fulton County or DeKalb County Jail.
Oh, Holmes ready to be up here for a minute too, talking. He got a lot of work.
Yes, I am.
And have you been post-certified the entirety of your law enforcement career?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Where were you assigned in October of 2020?
I was assigned to the homicide.
Hold up.
Either Mr. Pittman or Mr.
Whoa, whoa, turn up. Yeah, yeah, we just turned up real quick. Fuck wrong with you? You don't know nothing about my girl. Fuck wrong with you? Look at her. Fuck wrong with you? Hold up. Let's go back to y'all. I'm just letting y'all see. Look, it's turned. They turned over here. Oh, let's see what's going on. What he got? Let's get to it. What is this? Whoa, who did that? What the hell?
What are we looking at?
Yeah.
So this is the parking lot of the Goodwill at 1180 Collier Road.
What happened?
And to the right of the front door is the decedent.
And
bro,
if we could go through the series of photos all the way and stop at State's Exhibit. We stop. No, we'll stay here for now, actually. Okay. How long did it take you to walk through the particular scene?
This scene, I mean, it wasn't too big of a scene, so probably, several minutes.
Okay.
Yo,
And when you were walking through the scene, had there already been some of the items of evidentiary value that had been?
all right, y'all, we detectives tonight. If you walked up on this scene, this what we see. We just got here. We just got caught. What happened? If you had to guess, looking at this, what happened here?
Pointed out.
Yes, the items were still on the scene.
Okay.
Mm.
Had any items been collected?
Good question. Do we still got money on them? I mean, all right, that's a fair question.
Point.
No.
Okay. And what were the items of particular evidentiary value that you found to be pertinent to this case?
There's spent shell casings, a firearm. On the person of the decedent was a key fob for a Cadillac, as well as once the medical examiner got there, we were able to remove his wallet and identify him.
What?
You said, what do you mean once?
Lie, y'all. I thought he was a bum. I thought he was a bum, y'all.
The medical examiner got there?
So the body is the jurisdiction of the medical examiner, and generally we will not touch the body, go to unless the medical examiner's there and they actually manipulate the body.
Okay. Will you scroll through until State's Exhibit 125?
Yo, this YSL too, y'all. Whoa, cuz. Hold up. Yo, he was breakdancing, wasn't he? What? Well, bro. He had the Jiffy Mac on him. Yo, is that a real body? Got him. Bro, that's crazy.
Let me go to 126. Okay. This is a photograph of one of the shell casings on the scene.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And where is the shell casings that were recovered? Where were they recovered in relation to the
Say less,
body?
Greasy. I got you.
They were in the front parking lot.
Okay. How close were they to the victim's body?
Yo, I ain't know about that. Condolences.
Fairly close.
Okay. And if you go to State's Exhibit 131.
Hold on, yo. Hold. All right, I can't freeze it right there like that. Hold, get it out of there. Come on, cuz. Get it off the screen. All right. My bad, y'all. So, bro. Yo. Let me know in the comments what happened here, y'all. All right, now we seen Holmes with the blazer laid down like that. What happened? Now tell me what happened, y'all.
Scroll through all the way to State's Exhibit 140, please.
Yeah. Yeah, something looked crazy a little bit, but we can't we can't get into that part.
Okay. And that, I know we've kind of move through those fast, but that particular series of photos, are all those photos of the shell casings that you recovered?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. What time of day y'all think this happened? And why he had the strap? Oh, EJ. I don't think that's what it happened though, but that's a good call. According to me, the things I do know about Wick trial, it says, I don't think that's what happened, EJ, but that's a good call though. That is a good call. I like that. If we was detectives, I would have went down that road right there. What is he doing right here? Like, Holmes, with this on? With this little gist he got? This crazy.
And
Ooh,
states
okay,
exhibit
Kaneetha.
number
Yeah.
142. What is that a picture of?
So that is a image of a defect to the front of the building, to the window.
And if you will go to 143.
That also is a image of a defect to the window of the front of the building.
States exhibit 144.
And that is also an image of a defect to the front of the building.
Okay. And is 145?
That's a close-up of that same defect.
Okay. States 146.
That's another image of a defect to the front window of the business.
And states 147.
And that is a close-up of that same defect.
Okay. I am going to move on to states 148. See this box?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was that box of particular note to you guys?
Yeah, it appeared that there was a defect to it, to the front side of it.
Okay.
Bottom left corner.
Okay. And if we could go to the next picture, please.
They willy-nilly with
Yeah, you should see a little pin that you can select. And then you'll be able to circle that, okay? Okay. What is that you circled?
So that was the a defect to the front side of the box.
Okay. And did you empty the contents of that box to see if there was anything inside that may have caused that defect?
Yes, the contents were removed from the box.
Okay. If we could go to the next slide, please. All right. And ultimately, what did you recover inside of that particular box?
Appeared to be a projectile.
Okay. And sorry, these got a little bit out of order. If you could go to States Exhibit 195. Sorry to jump around on you here.
195.
Yes.
Oh, they getting real digital.
Oh, glass.
Okay. And for the record, could you not see that on the monitor in front of you?
I kind of a hard time seeing it from the
Okay.
glare.
Okay.
So you said it was what when you got to see the actual 184, your answer was what?
It would appear to be broken.
Okay. For that. All right.
Hold
Well,
on.
States Exhibit 185. What is that?
Plastic water bottle.
Okay. And what does that display?
So this is the contents of the decedent's wallet, which includes his driver's license with his name and date.
Mark as state exhibit number 527.
Yes, sir. It's described as a Nestle Pure Life crushed plastic water bottle.